Hey guys, it's Skater here and welcome back to hazecraft. And today we are doing another episode of Quality Time with Skater. I was really contemplating on what to do today, but I decided to go with a Quality Time with Skater because a lot of people wanted to hear how hazecraft was started. Like, I got a lot of positive responses, not just on the comment section, but in game from the last video. So I'm going to tell about how hazecraft, how I started the server, and how we grew. But before that, I wanted to just say a few things. Again, today we are walking around Orion. It's Tested's town. I'll probably get lost again, but I noticed Tested has his own YouTube channel here, so if you guys want to check that out, it's right there. Anyways, one more thing I wanted to mention is I really want to put out entertaining stuff onto YouTube, and with that being said, I think I'm going to start doing machinima videos. Not like the company machinima, but for those of you who already know what a machinima is, it's like kind of like what Vareed does, or what Slamacow does. If you don't know who those people are, you should definitely look them up, but they're like little stories in Minecraft. They're narrated usually. I'm going to try to do a few of them and maybe get into some bigger projects, but yeah, just wanted to let everyone know about that. So, yeah, well, let's start the storytelling. So, we left off last time. I was telling how I joined this community called Yams. If you did not see the last video, then just go to my channel, it should be there. It was the video right before this one. So, again, this server was awesome. It was really structured, and they had a big set of rules, which, like I said, the only problem with it was the owner was a jerk, and that led me to eventually leave. But a few things about that server is the server had a rank called CSO, Community Support Officer, and what they would do is they would tour people around the server when they join and help with basic punishments. Can you see a connection with a certain rank on our server? And I decided to transfer that over. A few other things that were great about the server is, like, they had a no swearing rule, and it was all kid friendly. So there you go. Now, the reason I left is because I kind of got bored. The server adapted the noob town rule, which is like you have to build your house and then they move you into a town. And they moved me into a town, and then after that there was nothing to do. I was like burnt out. So what I decided to do is I had seen videos on YouTube of griefing, and I'm completely against this now, but at the time I thought, why not try it out? So I by myself found a server and went on with total intentions to grief the whole server. When I joined, I was the server had no protection plugins. I didn't really know what protection plugins were at the moment, and it had factions. It was the first time I encountered factions, but the factions were no griefing factions. Like, they were just using it for protections. The owner had no idea how to use plugins whatsoever. But anyways, moving along here. Ooh, Appa. Yeah. Alright, so the owner had no protections, and I was jailed for griefing pretty, not heavily, but I just destroyed like one thing, and they caught me. And I was jailed for griefing, and I somehow convinced the owner, I'm pretty sure the owner was like 11, I convinced the owner that I was Ant Venom, and he actually let me join his faction and opt me. once he opt me, I did not know that that meant administration, and I know this would be the perfect opportunity for any griefer nowadays, because most servers actually get it and are really hard to grief. But I realized that I had all this power, and I didn't want to grief anymore. I wanted to actually, use what I learned and help run the server. So I stopped telling him I was Venom. I told him the truth, and from that point forward, I was an admin on their server. They still had no idea what they were doing. People would join and stuff. And then eventually I started a faction called Frigid. My own faction. I had one before that was big, but I started a new one called Frigid. I spelled Frigid wrong, which I realize now I spelled it Friged. If anyone on the server knows me well, they'll know I'm horrible at spelling, and I always have been. So, this faction I started was not meant to be a faction. It was meant to be half the people on the server had creative mode, and they kind of just gave it away. It was meant to be like the survival of the server. It was a survival aspect, and you spawned in a main room. It took a lot of the ideas from Yams and kind of put them in the server. And it had its spawn room, and then it had a hotel. You were in the hotel until you had the funds, and the funds were diamonds or iron. You were in the hotel until you had the funds to join a different place. And it was 5 iron to join Cactus Town and get a plot there, and then there were better towns and more upgrades. And eventually I decided to convince my parents to buy me my own server. And this was a huge step. I was going to be running my own server. I had no idea what I was doing. And I opened it and had no anti-cheat plugins, and no permissions, and opened it to the public, and it obviously got massively griefed. So then I realized there's obviously a problem here. I need to figure out what I'm doing. So I kind of understood permissions at that point, and I opened a new server called hazecraft. Not an original name, been done before obviously, but I opened that server up and I used a pre-made huge world. And basically you could just buy any house. It had an economy, it had a type of jobs using chess shop. And it was good. Again, no protections yet. I had not figured out protections. The way I prevented griefing at spawn was with factions, and it was like a blacklisted faction gayness. And once I grew out of that server really quickly, and I was kind of just starting to search for just a place where a server that could be successful, that I wanted to follow. So I started a Star Wars server with almost no connections to Star Wars. I was horrible at building at the time, and that one I got tired of in about a week and shut down. Then I opened a brand new server. This server was a faction PvP server. That one shut down after about 2 weeks, and it ended up turning into a Pokemon server. For those of you who have seen my early videos, you can see the Pokemon server. It had a pre-made map as well, and it was my first server where permissions were actually going right, and everything was protected, and I knew what I was doing with the server. And with that came a sense of, I can advertise this server now. So I advertised it. We got a decent player base, nothing like we have on hazecraft now. Maybe on weekends there was 3 to 5 people on maximum. We probably had somewhere around 50 to 100 active members, which was huge for me at the time. And eventually, I made a new. I got tired of it again, and I gave the main people who played on this Pokemon server. I moved them up to staff when I decided I wanted to make a new server. Like, for those of you who have met not Muff, his name's Max. Max, or Minecrafty MF, he's in some of the videos with me. He was made a moderator when we switched over. I love Max. He's an awesome member. He's one of the few people, him and Silver Slash, are the only people from my original servers who still play here. And they're both close friends of mine. I like them both a lot. Anyways, this Pokemon server shut down, and I started hazecraft. Now, at the time, we decided to actually install Townie, and with Townie you could do type stuff like, watch my chat bar, you could do like town, start, and it was all automated. There was nations, but the only problem with it is you could only join one town. That was not configurable. You could only join one town. It cost money to make towns. You could only join one town. Then I found a new host, and I switched the server over to that host because the other host was way too expensive. So I got on the new host, and I did not install Townie. I did it. There's a server out there called hazecraft, and if you go on hazecraft, it's basically the same premise of hazecraft. You can make your own towns, but there's only one type of town. It's only there are only regular villages, and they used World Guard for it, and I thought it was a genius. And the owner of that server might have been the most friendly owner I've ever met ever, and that's why that server got so popular so quickly. It was only up for maybe a week, and it started having tons of people on, just because the owner was so friendly, and like, I told him how much of an inspiration he was, and he's like always glad to inspire. And he was an awesome dude. So it started money to make a village, and then hazecraft started coming together. I wanted more ranks than just a regular village to keep people entertained. So I took the nation idea that comes with Townie and inputted that in, and then later inputted the empire idea and then added the ranks for that. So there you can feel the members who have been on the server for a long time start to feel a real sense of dominance over the other players, which I don't want them to like be mean to others by any means, but they feel like they are they've worked for this title and they deserve it, which is what I wanted. I wanted players to feel like this is where like they've worked hard for this and they deserve this, and other members should look up to them because of this. So that's why I added the ranks, and then from Yams I took a lot of the rules, and I took Officer, and I took a bunch of other things. Adventures were kind of my own idea. I saw quests on the other server, and I wanted to find a way to bring adventure maps to Minecraft. So I did that, and added that to the server. And the economy came from Royalcraft, my first economy server. And the jobs came from Royalcraft, and it's just, hazecraft just turned into this melting pot of awesomeness. And before this, I was just doing whatever it took to get popular, and I was finally tired of just doing whatever it took to get popular, and just decided to do what I dreamt of a server, what I think would be the perfect server. And hazecraft was a result of that, and it just turned out that a lot of other people thought that it was the perfect server. And one of the reasons I love that is because it's just kind of a lesson that no matter how hard you try, if you just like do what you love and keep doing it, you will be successful. Like, I am so grateful that I can have this server and have all these people who play on it all the time. Like, we have like 9,000 people who play on here now, which is insane. The server just started getting super popular, And it was probably like the happiest thing of my life was when I would log in midday and there'd be like 10 people on, and people knew me, and all our staff was amazing, and ever since that we just kind of grew, like especially at the start, the first month we went from having maybe one person on, 1 to 2 people average, to 9 to 10 people average, because I was advertising a lot at the time, and a lot of people just loved the server, and I don't know. I'm really glad I just stuck with my guts and made something that I'm really proud of to show others, and I by no means do this for any money. All the donations go straight back to the server. I do this because it was kind of a dream of mine to have a server like this, and it's awesome. I can't explain how amazing it feels to have worked this hard and reached success. It's been like a year and a half, 2 year process to get to this point, and I hope you guys liked the story of how hazecraft was started. Yeah, I hope everyone looks forward to those machinimas, and I hope I can actually stick with them and do them, because I think that'd be amazing. I'll also do some town spotlights, hopefully, because I know people like watching those and like watching what they build on my channel. And yeah, guys, just grateful to be here, and hope to see you guys in game. Thanks for everything, guys. Peace.